exciting game, but I'm not into more victories. This was a game that, man, it was back and forth, a lot of fighting. I thought offensively we did not a lot of good things offensively that we can build on. The one thing to me that had to turn this game is, man, we can't have turnovers. We can't do it. We have to be a more disciplined team, right? There were some penalties that happened in that game that was true discipline issues. And, again, that's something that will be addressed because you will not be on the field with this team if you're going to cause us to lose games. You're going to cause issues like that. So we will get that addressed, and we got to continue to work. The one thing I told our guys, listen, we got Buffalo coming here next week. Damn good team. We all know that. The only thing we can do is get back to work next week. And, again, the things that I saw that was positive, man, we're going to build on those things. And I love what I saw on a lot of different areas. But there are some things we definitely got to fix, and we will get those things fixed going into the next week.
Specifically with the penalties, Aaron, that's something you've harped a lot all throughout camp.
Absolutely.
I know you're fine with the competitive ones, or the fine nerve with the competitive ones, but to see the Quincy roughing call, I mean,
well, just like I said, I mean, those things got to be fixed, and you can't be on the field with us. That's just what it is.
Just curious, your thoughts about the defense and how they played.
Gave up too many points. Can't do that.
Specifically, the secondary, it looked like Sauce was on DK, obviously, the whole game. But the rest of the guys, it looked like there might have been some coverage breakdowns, especially on the first touchdown with the slot receiver.
Well, it's hard for me to say that until I really look at the tape. I mean, it just goes back to defense. Like, you just can't give up that many points. That's just what it is.
Thoughts about Justin Fields today, his debut?
I thought he did an outstanding job. Outstanding. Again, I want to go back and look at the tape and really dissect everything. But just from the naked eye, I thought he did a really good job.
Was there any thought to calling the timeout after the first completion there on your lone timeout there on the first completion?
Not on the first one. I want to make sure I hold my timeout in that situation. And obviously, if we would have got that completion, then on the next completion, I was thinking about calling on that time.
What about the first 2-point conversion after the penalty? Could you just walk us through your thought process?
Well, that was a penalty, right? And, man, when you get on the ball at 1, man, I'm trying to go for 2. I mean, I have total confidence in our O-line and our running backs. And they did a good job.
Did Rodgers show you anything that you hadn't seen before? Like, how would you assess his performance?
I mean, he's a good passer. I mean, we all know that. So that's nothing new.
Your offensive line dealt with a pretty big blow with ABT.
Yep.
I want to say 1 or 2 sacks today. Breece was at one point over 100 yards as a team on the ground. Can you just talk about your offensive
It's really nothing to talk about. I've been saying that from the longest. We have depth there. So we have total confidence in anybody that comes in our O-line.
How do you think Breece Hall performed?
It speaks for itself. You guys know that. I mean, he went over 100 yards. How many yards average? How many a carry? Next question.
Lining up from 60 there.
Say it again?
When Boswell was lining up for the 60-yarder,
Yep.
What did you think? I mean, I think it was a career high for him.
Listen, he is. I think it was too. I mean, we had that number at around 40, where we knew that he was damn near automatic. You know, but when it was, I think it was 60. We're at the 40, where we knew he was automatic, and then when it was like maybe 4 yards, I'm like, man, we got to see if he can make this one. And hey, listen, give him more credit. You know, he nailed it.
Have those new the kicking ball rules that the NFL has implemented, has that had to adjust the way that you approach where you're looking at that line, where say you thought Boswell was good from the 40?
Yeah, that's been his history, and we do have to look at that, you know. So, but give him credit, guys. I mean, he kicked what it was 62, 63, 60 yards. I mean, it's pretty damn good for him. I think that's his longest kick, you know. So, guys, he did a good job making that kick.
How much can this team learn from being in such a tight game and the way it went at the end? And
we have no choice but to learn. Because of the way that we play and the way that we want to operate, there's a chance that we're going to be in a lot of those games. And plus, we know this league comes down to that anyway. So to be able to make plays in games like this here is going to be critical for us. But I will say this. There's going to be no confidence loss from these guys. I mean, these guys have been busting their butts for a long time. And, again, there's no such thing as more victories in my eyes, all right? But there's some things that we can definitely build on both sides of the ball, even though there's some things we got to fix on defense, but there's some things we can build on.
Couple more. Did you say anything to Garrett after that final play of the game? I mean, he got it.
What should I say to him?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not coaches. You
I
have
mean, he did a really good job today. And listen, he got hit once he caught the ball, and that's how it goes.
In terms of the,
You mentioned turnovers. Ultimately, do you think that was what was the difference today?
Well, there was a number of things that happened, but that was like a 14-point swing, if I'm correct. I think they scored, they got the turnover, and then they scored again. So, gosh, that like you can't just let that happen, to any team. I don't care who it is. And like turnovers, they lose you games. Discipline issues, they lose you games, and those are some things that we're going to fix.
with Justin, with Fields, in terms of the run pass, he showed a little bit of everything today.
Yeah.
Is that kind of a glimpse of what you see him becoming?
We're going to be whatever we have to be to win the game. So if it goes into that, it is what it is. It might be times we have to throw it, more than 22 times. There's some times we might have to run it, 40 times. Whatever it calls for us to win games, that's what we're going to be.